I have a passion for climbing all sorts of abandoned places, especially old elements of Soviet infrastructure. In my city I've climbed practically everything I could get my hands on. I was even in Pripyat with the same psychos. There is a photo of me standing against a background of that very amusement park, and I am very proud of it. But the real fear caught up with me not in the ghost town, but where my passion for stalking began. On my relative's land, in a village near Kharkov. My aunt married a Ukrainian man. He had an apartment in the city and a house in the village where his mother lived. My parents sent my sister and me every summer to my grandmother's house in the sunny village. There I met my friend Dennis, who got me hooked on stalking. Dennis and I explored all the local bomb shelters and cellars, and once we even pulled a bunch of gas masks out of some cellar. About a month ago Dennis wrote to me that not far from their town enthusiasts had discovered a protected pioneer camp untouched by civilization. Naturally, I caught fire, bought a sick note for work from a doctor, and went to Kharkov. I will omit the details of the trip, but in the end Dennis and I are already standing at the entrance to the complex. The gymnasium seized by fungus and ruin, empty swimming pool, lined with beaten tiles with black mold, schoolrooms with dilapidated blackboards and portraits of Lenin, broken glass, scattered notebooks in the corridors. I liked it all very much, and I took a lot of great photos that day. My favorite stalker moment is when I open the lock in the basement and dig through all sorts of crates. Once at the factory I found a crate with an AK-74. When I arrived in Kharkov, the next day Dennis and I sawed the basement lock with a circular saw. I don't know what they were thinking before, when they left piles of army first aid kits with very interesting contents in pioneer camps, which of course we couldn't pass by. And then I wanted to take the last photo in the ruined swimming pool, against a background of the poster. Communism is the youth of the world, and the young should build it. Yes, I remembered that phrase for the rest of my life. When I opened the blue shabby door, I saw the corpse of a naked girl suspended above the pool in front of that very poster. I was stunned, but I didn't panic. Stalkers often find corpses of homeless people or victims of gang violence. We stepped closer. There was a metal collar attached to a chain around the girl's throat. The chain was also attached to the hook of a spotlight. All of this was done at the height of the 4th floor. She certainly hadn't been here yesterday. I just can't imagine how she got there. How did she get up to the 4th floor of the gym without the aid of a huge ladder and hang from a long, heavy black chain? And it was hanging from the hook where the spotlight had been yesterday. I decided to take a picture of the girl in front of the poster. She was young, no more than 20 years old, well-built, hair the color of tar. I took my camera out of my pocket and prepared to take a picture, but suddenly the chain broke. The corpse fell to the tiles, making a nasty sound like bones cracking. You can't imagine how creepy it made me feel. If earlier Dennis stood and timidly looked at the suspended corpse, now he just started crying. And I don't even know what came over me, decided to come closer to the girl. The broken body was lying at the bottom of the pool. The girl's face was beautiful, and I even felt sorry that she had decided to hang herself. We looked at her for a few seconds and suddenly saw that she was moving the tip of her toe. When Dennis saw this, he squatted down and sobbed even harder. I ran to the door and started pulling the handle, but it wouldn't open. When I turned around, I saw that the corpse had gotten up and walked over to Dennis. He stopped sobbing. I started yelling at him, but he didn't even turn around. They stood face to face. I called out to Dennis again, but again he didn't react. The absurdity of the situation was driving me crazy. And then I realized. It was a stupid prank to scare me. I exhaled in relief and exclaimed, "Wow, I almost died of fright. How did you do that?" Denise remained silent, slowly fixed the corpse's ruffled hair and told her, "You are unique," said in such a detached voice that I immediately realized I had to run. To hell with my friend. I decided to climb out through the broken window of the second floor. I rushed to the window, threw my bag into it, and started jumping up to climb out myself. But I couldn't do anything. I was so scared I thought I was going to wet myself. And then I heard the sound of bare feet approaching and I couldn't help myself. I turned around. The corpse came toward me. It was immediately clear that it wasn't human. The girl's face didn't look cute anymore, it was distorted with a monstrous grimace. The girl's dead eyes were especially horrifying. She tilted her head slightly to the side, as if curiously studying me. The last straw was Dennis's phrase, spoken in the same serious voice. "Don't be afraid of her, she's good. She wants to be friends." It occurred to me that I could have climbed up the window using the Swedish wall. I climbed up the wall, jumped down, and caught my hands on the window frame, cutting my right palm badly on the protruding glass. Blood trickled out in a warm trickle. I climbed over and jumped down, smashing my chin in the fall. Grabbing my bag, I ran to the bike. My grandmother was shocked when I, covered in blood, started sobbing hysterically, hugging her. After calming down a bit, I asked my grandmother to call the police anonymously so that they could find Dennis at the pioneer camp, and I decided to go home immediately. Without packing, taking only my bag, I asked an acquaintance to give me a ride to the city for $100. There I got on a plane and was soon home. I wondered whether the police had found Dennis in the pool. Was he still alive? After all, I had not seen him since then, and his phone was always out of range.